to Fakar Zaman from this C end. This ball, and Zaman just plays that quite respectfully down to mid-off. They'll run through for a single, fielded by Visa, 26 without loss.
Field everyone up on the offside, everyone inside the inner circle. He's got a man of 45 in the circle, square leg inside the circle. He's got deep mid-wicket and deep long on, obviously two outside within the power play.
She can't again up to Lloyd, who drives down the ground. That is going to be four. Yeah, one bounce four, straight drive. Phil Salt did a bit of chasing, but there was no way he was going to stop that. And nice shot there by David Lloyd. He's looking good here. He's on to 19, 30 without loss, Glamorgan.
Yeah, those kind of shots, he's obviously sized up very quickly and just hit straight over the top. Very little spin out there. There'll be obviously very little swing from the seamers as well from now this ball's been hit around the park. So it looks a very, very good wicket down here at Hove.
She can't again, shorter, and that is going to keep Salt interested. Is it running in two fielders? No, it's going to drop short of Laurie Evans. It was in the air a long time towards a gap between mid-wicket and long on, and both Salt and Laurie Evans converged on the ball, but it dropped between them. So slightly fortunate there, David Lloyd. It was, as I say, it was in the air for a long time, but dropped safely enough. 2 runs taken, 32 without loss. Rashid Khan in again to Lloyd, who's beaten outside off stump, and
yeah, Laurie Evans very slow coming off the boundary there, possibly picked it up late. I thought it would have been a comfortable catch, but it dropped probably in the end, probably 10 yards in front of it.
Yeah, it did. It looked, as I say, it was in the air for a long time, so perhaps a missed opportunity there for Sussex. Rashid Khan in again, and Lloyd is on his knees and sweeping very well indeed, very powerfully. Past the man at backward square leg, Danny Briggs, 4 runs to David Lloyd. He's on to 25, and Glamorgan are 36 without loss. 150 this season in the competition for David Lloyd against Somerset in the opening game, and it looks like he's got a few in him tonight as Rashid Khan bowls and they're driven down the ground just for a single this time, fielded by Salt, coming in off the long on boundary. End of the over, gets through his overs very quickly. Rashid Khan, he's on his turn, he's ready to bowl as soon as the ball's back in his hand. End of the 5th over, 37, quite an expensive over by his standards. 12 off, 37 without loss.
Yeah, David Lloyd in this campaign for the Morgan, he's always been threatening to get going without putting a real innings together, and it's possibly, as you say, the way he started here tonight, could this be his night?
It's been more consistent than Glamorgan's other batsmen. I think one of the memories of last year with Rashid Khan bamboozling Glamorgan was poor old Chris Cook playing completely down the wrong line and getting bowled. It was one of those used on the highlights reels. It was so comprehensive, so Cook might want a bit of revenge. We expect Jeremy Lawler possibly to come in at 3, was the initial thought, but that may have changed since Glamorgan haven't lost a wicket yet in the power play. As in comes Mills, short ball that Lloyd steps back and ducks underneath. So not sure if that was head height or not, whether that counted as one for the over.
Gould there, square leg umpire, just signalled in to Rob Bailey, saying it was chest high, no higher than that.
David Lloyd, a fairly compact batsman. Very squat stance as Mills comes down the slope and bowls to Lloyd, who pulls through mid-wicket, has got plenty of bat on that, and it's run away past the square leg, failed to roll ends for 4 runs, as Lloyd seizing onto that one, using the pace of the ball and smashing it away for 4. 41 for naught.
Yeah, not great bowling from Tyrone Mills there. He started with a short ball and followed up a second delivery with another short ball. So as a batsman, you're just having a look at it, and then the next is exactly the same, but with only 2 fielders out in the circle, you're absolutely going to throw everything at it.
Mills was on commentary duty when we did the One Day Cup game here. He's a bit more lethal tonight in the middle as Lloyd chops that one down to third man for a single. Topley fielding on the boundary in front of the hospitality boxes, which Tony Cotty and his team have filled up as usual down here. BBC Sport Online live from Hove. Bruce Talbot, Mike Powell and myself, Nick Webb, for BBC Sussex and BBC Sport Wales. Mills will come over the wicket to left-handed Fakar Zaman.
You can just see Zaman eyeing up the leg side here. He's had 3 short deliveries so far, so another one comes, I'd imagine, he'd be try to launch into the short boundary to the leg side.
Mills racing towards us, bowls to Zaman, very slow delivery that Zaman gets the bottom edge to, and it trickles through to keeper Alex Carey. That's about a quarter the pace of his previous.
Very good slow ball. He actually bowls at the back of his hands. The arm comes over the same speed, but the way it's flicked out the back, as a batsman, it looks like it's, for the first 6 foot, 7 foot of his hand, it looks like it's going to be a quick delivery, and then all of a sudden, the pace taken off, it absolutely bamboozles you.
42 without loss in this last over of the power play. 2 more balls of it to come, to be precise. As in comes Mills, bowls, and that's pulled away towards square leg and caught. And Sussex have the first wicket as Fakhar Zaman holds out at square leg there. 42 for 1 in the 6th over, and Fakhar has gone for 9.
Smart catch by Phil Salt on the boundary. He ran a couple of paces, but he did so flat and so quickly, he hardly had to move. So a slight dive forward as he was tailing away, and that's the end of Glamorgan's overseas. Fakhar Zaman 4, 9. So another failure for the overseas here at Glamorgan. Which it looks like bringing, as you said earlier, it looks like we're going to see Jeremy Lawler. Shape of Jeremy Lawler? I think it is a Jeremy Lawler coming in. So yeah, you were right, Nick. Your inside scoop.
Yes, it's unusual considering that Colin Ingram has said all the while that he likes batting at 3 and blamed some of his ills on in the IPL at batting at 5 and 6, but he's dropped himself 1 place down the order here this evening. To give a chance to the 22-year-old Jeremy Lawler, who hit 43 in the opening match, but
it's the only time he got in early as well, wasn't it?
He got a duck against Gloucestershire in the first over, didn't he? But yeah, he's been middle order the last couple. Mills to Lawler, who pushes that on the leg side. Dot ball, end of the over. 42 for 1 after the end of the power play. Glamorgan having chosen to bat.
You always feel like unfortunate way to get out caught in the boundaries. He hit it so well. It's so flat. Just think if he got underneath it, it would have flown over the boundary for 6, but he didn't. Went with the flat option and caught.
42 for 1. I think Sussex will probably be pretty happy with that power play. Just 5 runs off that last over from Jamal Mills, and it's going to be Danny Briggs, who on Sunday became the leading domestic T20 wicket taker. Has been an outstanding T20 bowler for Hampshire. Probably played against him, mightn't you?
Yeah.
And Sussex, terrific, great fielder as well. He's come in to bowl the 7th over from the CN.
I think you're right. I think Sussex will be very happy. Wicket down, 7 runs and over, and with such a short boundary to this leg side for the right-handed batsman. Such a good wicket. Be happy with that.
Left arm spin, and first ball is played off the back foot by David Lloyd. It's straight to Luke Wright in the covers, no run. So straight away, Danny Briggs settling on a good length. Barrister umpire Gould bowls again, looks slightly shorter, and again Lloyd looking. This time Luke Wright can't prevent a single. Fielding done by Reece Topley running in from long off. So Jeremy Lawler playing only his 4th match in this format, coming in at number 3 following the dismissal of Fakhar Zaman in the last over. 43 for 1 Glamorgan. 2 balls bowled at the 7th over. It's Briggs, Danny Briggs, who's going to bowl to Lawler. Comes in and bowls, and Lawler plays that into the offside. There will just be a single. Momentarily they might have tried to take on Topley's arm, but they didn't in the end. No point in risking anything at this stage of the innings, especially with the wicket having just fallen. Lloyd on strike now on 32. Briggs up to the wicket to bowl to him, and Lloyd defends, and Briggs fields off his own bowling. So 4 balls of this over so far, just 2 runs conceded. Good stuff from Danny Briggs. Comes in again past umpire Gould, bowls, and this time sort of inside of the bat, played by Lloyd into the leg side. Delray Rawlins comes in from deep mid wicket to do the fielding, just a single. 45 for 1. Lloyd on to 33. Lawler on strike now. So the last ball of this 7th over, Danny Briggs bowling in. And Lawler plays that one back down the pitch. Good over from Danny Briggs. Dot ball to end. 45 for 1, just 3 off that 7th over.
Yeah,
Lloyd
right.
is 33 and Lawler 1.
Very smart open bridge there. You say, not even the car rushes through his over so quick, gives you no thinking time at all, but left armour coming round the wicket, he does create a bit of an angle, spearing that ball into middle stump. But for me, the lengthy balls is so good. It was so full.
It's very hard to get under the ball.
Very difficult to get under the ball. I'm sure David Lloyd and Laura eyeing up this leg side. It's almost a flick, really, from the spinner to try and get over that infield. But such highly skilled bowler, Briggs. Very good start for him.
Comes with experience, I guess, Mike, doesn't it? Bowling, in this format for so long, he knows his game inside out.
They keep on coming. Rashid Khan will try and rush through and over from the far end. Bowling to Lloyd, who works it away on the leg side. They run the first one fast, but I don't think they'll dare come back for the second as the throw comes in from mid-wicket to Alex Carey in the mid-blue shirts of Sussex. Glamorgan in yellow and very dark blue. And Lawler takes guard against Rashid, the Afghan wonder kid, as he bowls that one. And that's hit straight back to him by Lawler. Gets a boot to it, does Rashid Khan.
It's old school that, wouldn't it? Just took a foot out. No diving, just a foot.
That's nice sort of fielding. 46 for 1 Glamorgan. Decelerating slightly. We're in the 8th over as Lawler hits that one, slogs it really out to mid-wicket for a single. 47 for 1. And maybe not pretty the way that Glamorgan take on Rashid Khan. You don't get marks for aesthetics as Lloyd cuts that one nicely. That is a good shot, to be fair. That's raced away backward as square, that short backward point boundary away to our right, and it's gone away for 4 to bring up the Glamorgan 50 in the 8th over, but just 1 wicket down.
He shows short in his stance, David Lloyd, that many batsmen will be playing on the front foot. He actually turns up those drives into cuts, makes a little bit of room for himself.
Rashid bowls again, Lloyd defensive, back down the pitch to the bowler, and there's no run. We won't be on overtime tonight with these two bowling, that's for sure. Here on BBC Sport Online, a bit of late evening sunshine underneath the floodlights as Rashid is in again to bowl to Lloyd, who tries to squeeze and single on the offside, but can't do so. So just 6 off Rashid Khan's over. Glamorgan a 51 for 1 after 8 overs. David Lloyd is 38 not out off 29 deliveries. Jeremy Lawler's on 2. The man out, Fakir Zaman, caught by Phil Salt off the bowling of Tamal Mills for 9.
Yeah, they keep an eye on that run rate. I'm sure they were out there, Lawler and David Lloyd just crept below 6.5. And as I say, with this outfield is so fast and short boundary for the now coming up the hill, the right-handed batsman. So they'll keep an eye. They want to be a little bit more than that.
Briggs starts the new over, 9th over, to Lawler, who pulls that into the leg side, and it's gone between the two fielders there, deep mid-wicket and long on, and for Ford. Slightly short there from Danny Briggs, and Lawler was onto it very quickly, pulled it through that short leg side boundary for 4. He's on to 5, so good start to this 9th over for Glamorgan, 55 for 1. Danny Briggs, what's he got in response? Comes up to the wicket and bowls, and Lawler's hit it high in the air. I think it's going to fall between two fielders again. Is it? No, it's not. Superbly caught on the run by Phil Salt. I think that one actually held up in the wind a little bit. It was in the air a long, long time. Salt made good ground. We thought at one stage it might drop between him and Briggs, but Salt got his mitts underneath it. A really well-judged catch by Phil Salt, and the second Glamorgan wicket has fallen. Jeremy Lawler has gone for 6, and Glamorgan are 55 for 2. Good catch, Mike.
Very good catch. Probably took a good 40 yards there. Running Salt to take that ball, diving in the end forward. Very good catch. Briggs slightly adjusting his length. That's slightly short the previous delivery, giving Lawler enough room to get deep in his crease and just submissively swap that ball away for 4. But a little bit fuller. Gone for the sweep slog, top edge in to long on. Very good catch. Glamorgan 2 wickets down, 55.
Yeah, it was a good catch. I have to say, I thought at one stage Phil Salt might not get there, but he did in the end. Really good sprint, and his second catch of the evening. So 55 for 2, and just when you feel Glamorgan is just building some momentum, so far they've lost a wicket. Anyway, the new batsman is is Colin Ingram. Beg your pardon, the Glamorgan captain's come out. He's taken a single off the batsman crossed in fact, so Lloyd gets a single there off the third ball of that ninth over going on here, and it's going to be Colin Ingram to take strike now at Danny Briggs to bowl. 56 for 2, and just looking at Ingram this season, 50 not out against Somerset, but by his standards fairly modest return so far, fair to say, as he plays that first ball into the big expanses on the leg side. Salt does the fielding, but Colin Ingram is off the mark with a single. 57 for 2.
Yeah, 4 scores in the teens in 6 appearances, not good by his standards.
Briggs now bowling to Lloyd on 39, and Lloyd plays that into the leg side. Delray Rawlins, probably the best athlete, the best fielder in this Sussex side, comes herring in off the boundary, just keeps them down to a single. So just 1 ball left of this over. Really rushing through the overs, Briggs and Khan. Not really much time for the batsman to settle. Ingram knocks that one into the leg side. It's Visa fielding this side at this time, and that's the end of the over. 59 for 2. 8 runs off the over. Glamorgan 59 for 2. Wicket there in that over. That of Jeremy Lawler, called by Phil Salt, off Danny Briggs for 6.
As you say, 59 for 2, Glamorgan, 9 overs gone. Lloyd moving very quickly onto his 40. Ingram getting himself in and just to the 2 singles at the moment. We know Colin he is a slow starter, and we've seen that many times before, and he really does go hard at the back end of the inning, so we'll expect fireworks yet from Ingram.
Still plenty of time left though.
Plenty of time.
Be Tamal Mills then, to bowl from the Cromwell Road end, coming in down the slope and bowling to the left-handed Ingram, for whom that leg side boundary must be a great temptation, but he hasn't been striking cleanly with great regularity in this campaign so far, as Mills is in to bowl to Ingram outside off stump and just played away gently for a single ball, kicking up off the mat that's been placed over an old wicket, and they just jogged through for the single. 60 for 2 in this 10th over here on BBC Sport Online, and Sussex looking to go top of the South Group with victory here tonight. Glamorgan looking to get off the bottom, go ahead of Surrey if they win, but they haven't done so far this season, and their score looks a bit undercooked at the moment as Mills is in to bowl to Lloyd, who steps away but mistimes it to Visa in the cover, as Mills using his variations of pace cleverly as always. The announcer trying to get the crowd going a little bit. 60 for 2 as Mills left arm around to David Lloyd. 40 not out off 32 deliveries. In comes Mills, bowls, and Lloyd's helped that one away backward of square. In fact, it's more like over fine leg, and it's gone away second bounce for 4 down the hill towards the sea end. Didn't really seem to time that one particularly well, but just used the pace of the ball. Yeah,
slightly offline there from Tyrone Mills, down the leg side, and David Lloyd, like you say, in his squat position, just down nice and low and got underneath it and flicks over the fine leg that's up inside the circle.
Tamal Mills then. Into bowl to Lloyd, 64 for 2. Last umpire Bailey, bowls up in the block hole, driven very hard through the offside, and it's well fielded on the boundary in front of the scoreboard to keep them down to a single. Good cricket all round there, 65 for 2.
To give you an idea how well he struck that ball and how short that field there is, he had to dive. Standing still, he dived to his right-hand side to stop it. And gone left or right, just dived, and he's on the boundary.
65 for 2. Ingram on strike, 3 off 3 so far. When will he try and bring out the fireworks, Colin Ingram? Mills is in, bowls to Ingram, not yet. He'll just run that one down easily to third man for single, where Laurie Evans does the fielding. 66 for 2. More sunshine envelops the county ground. Nice evening bit of a mixed day weather-wise, but only the odd bit of rain. Nothing, hopefully, to threaten play here this evening. Lloyd on 45 on strike. Mills has no one saving the single in front of the wicket on the leg side. That's the least of his concerns, I suppose. Lloyd tries to hit it through the off, doesn't time it, and gets a single out to cover. End of the over, 67 for 2 at the halfway mark here on BBC Sport Online. Glamorgan having chosen to bat. Mills had Facker caught at square leg for 9. Briggs had Lawler caught skying to mid-on for 6. Salt underneath the ball on both occasions. Lloyd 46, Ingram is 4.
Yeah, I think a solid start from Sussex. They'll probably be the happiest of this halfway stage of Glamorgan's. Glamorgan's is all bowling very tight. Tyrone Mills, the 12 runs come from his 2 overs. And Danny Briggs operated up the slope for the moment. One wicket, 11 runs from his 2 overs so far.
Briggs in and squeezed down to the offside. In fact, that's going to go past the short third man for 4 runs. Danny Briggs looks a bit incredulous there. Wonders how David Lloyd managed to squeeze that through, but he did. Third man was up, and David Lloyd is through to 50 off 36 balls. Well played him. Second 50 of the competition for the Glamorgan opener this season. As he now faces another delivery from Briggs, and this time he's going leg side. Is that going to be caught? It is. Yeah, fairly comfortable catch in the end. I think that's Phil Salt out there again. And Lloyd, the call after getting to his 50 is out. 71 for 3. Trying to pick out that inviting leg side boundary, and a comfortable catch in the end. I think it's Laurie Evans actually who's taken the catch. And Glamorgan are 71 for 3 in the 11th over.
It's interesting, as the ball he squeezed down for 4 runs past the left hand of the man inside the circle, the third man. He actually tried to sweep the slog there, and he actually got too flat on it. It was too full for him to get underneath it, and ended up getting caught on the boundary at deep square. Comfortable catch for Laurie Evans on there. Which brings Kieran
Carlson should be.
Yeah,
number 5, that's him. First match in this T20 campaign. Started the season with a century in the championship, but hasn't done much since.
He's going to be on strike to Danny Briggs. His first ball, Briggs comes up to the wicket and bowls, and defended very respectfully by Kieran Carlson. 71 for 3, halfway through the 11th over. Big wicket out for Sussex. Lloyd was going well and looking to push on in the second half of the innings. That one is again well bowled, slightly quicker, a bit flatter from Briggs, and Carlson looking leg side ends up getting squirts it out into the offside instead, and it's fielded by Luke Wright. Briggs in again and bowls, and Carlson guides that into the offside gap between cover and point. There's a man on the boundary running in, Delray ruling, so just a single. Carlson off the mark, and Colin Ingram, who's on 4, is on strike. 72 for 3. 1 ball left of the 11th over. Field adjusts very quickly. Briggs in again, left arm past umpire Ian Gould bowls, tucks him up for room, but is guided into that big expanse on the leg side by Ingram. Just a single though. 73 for 3 at the end of the 11th over. A second wicket for Danny Briggs, and just 6 runs off the over.
He's a very good, well, we know because he's the leader wicket taker in this competition, but his lengths are immaculate. Very full, very straight. The angle when he comes round the wicket to the right-handed batsman, it almost feels like you think it's going down leg side, but it's not. It's actually angled into middle and leg stump. It's so wide, and he gets a little bit of drifting as well. He's almost tempting you to hit to the leg side, but in doing so, you're working across the line of your stumps.
He bowls very few poor deliveries in this form, I have to say. You count them on one hand normally in a season, never mind in a game. He's got 2 wickets tonight, Danny Briggs, from 3 overs. It's going to be Rashid Khan going to bowl the next over with Nick.
So here comes Rashid from the top end to bowl to Colin Ingram. That's short and flat outside off stump, and Ingram can't get any bat on it. That one really whistled through into the gloves of Alex Carey in the evening sunshine. Rashid Khan, man of mystery. Ingram pushes and runs on the offside. Well, Sussex will be happy enough with that, with the Glamorgan captain happy to take singles. 74 for 3. Glamorgan 150. Looks a tall order. at this stage. They'll have to get some acceleration in these closing stages. Briggs has bowled 3 overs. This is Rashid Khan's third. So it'll be largely pace in the remaining overs to come as Carlson works one away on the leg side. They might be able to get back for 2 there, but Colin Ingram doesn't fancy it, and probably quite rightly so as the throw comes skimming in from Rawlins, coming in from the
he's quick, isn't
boundary there.
Rawlins covered the ground there so fast.
Rashid to Ingram, who tries to sweep, gets it down to backward square. Visa Fields coming in off the boundary. Just the single. Yeah, I'm not sure that Ingram turns like he used to, having had a knee op 2 or 3 years ago. So Kieran Carlson, intimidating position, his first team game for some time, and he's up against Rashid Khan as he just opts for the safe option of nurdling it up towards mid-on for a single. Says, yeah, captain, you've played more recently, you have a go. 77 for 3, just 4 off the over so far in double quick time. Ingram tries to pull, but pulls it straight to short fine leg. It is a dot ball, it is another fine over, as Sussex fans will be used to from the teenage spinner Rashid Khan. 77 for 3, Carlson 3, Ingram 7, and there are 8 overs left.
You just feel like things are going Sussex way at the moment. That ball just dragged down from Khan to Ingram, which probably should have been 4 runs, but finding the fielder, the man of 45 round it, short, fine leg, and even the things like the man getting caught sweeping on the boundary going straight to the field. I mean, we're talking about 10 runs there and only getting 1 from it. That could be the difference with winning and losing matches.
Danny Briggs starts a new over, bowling at 2.
He's got it. Yo.
Well, he's bowling to Carlson, has hit him down the ground. Reece Topley made a diving attempt from long on to try and stop that, but 1 bounce into the ropes. He hit that well, did Carlson. So somewhat spoiling Danny Briggs' figures. He started his final over figures of 2 for 17 from 3 overs, now 2 for 21. 4 runs there, and that will make Carlson feel very good about himself. 7, he's on to 7. Ingram on 7, 81 for 3. Glamorgan, we're in the 13th over. Danny Briggs bowling to Carlson, who... It's hard to tell here. Colin Ingram's right in my line of vision. You've probably got a better view of that, Mike.
Yeah, a little bit fuller, a little bit wider. Very smart bowling.
Get clobbered for successive boundaries too often, Will Briggs. He's in again a ball. Darts.
He's
That's a
got
good
that.
shot. That's a good hit. That's going over the hospitality boxes on the scoreboard side here at home. 6 runs to Kieran Carlson. Really got hold of that one very nicely, in there a long time, but sailed over that boundary, that short boundary on the leg side here. And 6 to Carlson, he's on to 13, 87 for 3.
I think that's the things the batsmen here down at Hove. The boundaries are short, square, the wicket, they're quite short. They're not that long. Too long on, long off, if we're brutally honest. So as a batsman, you always think, I'm only really half hit away from finding a boundary, from making an over that isn't great into a very good over.
Yeah, maybe as it's his last over, Briggs, they've possibly targeted it. They've still got a lot of wickets in hand, Glamorgan, so, you know, there is the scope for them to accelerate as Briggs comes in and bowls, and that's wider outside off stump. Squeezed, actually got a decent bit of bat on it, did Carlton, put it out to the deep point boundary for a single, 88 for 3. 2 balls left of this 13th over, 2 balls left of Danny Briggs' spell, and it's the left-handed Colin Ingram who's on strike now. Briggs comes up to the wicket to bowl to him, and that's hit down the ground. Briggs makes a diving effort to try and stop it in his follow-through, but it beats him and Reece Topley at long on, so a second boundary of the over, 6 as well, so it's proving to be a quite expensive over this from Danny Briggs. 15 runs off it so far, with 1 ball to be bowled. 2 for 32, somewhat spoiling his figures this, because Briggs would bowl really well for his first 3 overs, but the Glamorgan batsmen have taken him on in this over with some success. Final ball of his spell, short, dragged round the corner, that might be 4 as well. There's a chase on for Topley, and there's a chase on as well for Delroy Rawlins, and between them they stop it going for 4, but rather comically Rawlins has pushed that too far ahead of Topley, and in the end they've run 3 runs. End of the over, and end of Danny Briggs' spell. 17 runs off that over. My maths is so bad, it's actually 80. 95 for 3 at the end of the 13th over.
Yeah, run rate just 7.3 at the moment. Reasonable position to be in. I think they want to be a bit more than that with the wicket that they produced here tonight down in Hull with these short boundaries as well. A quick outfield. I think they'll be reasonably happy with the fact that Kieran Carlson is striking the ball quite nicely. Ingram looks like he's getting himself going with a couple of boundaries from the previous over. So, Sussex reasonably happy, I'd imagine, with their position. I'm sure they were happier a couple of overs ago.
Here's Rashid Khan then to bowl to Colin Ingram on 14 not out. And he comes, and that's flat batted away into the covers by Ingram. Oh, Carlson's fallen over as he looked to turn. And this time it is the youngster Carlson who says, no, I can't make it back for a second. But again, the outfielding good from Sussex. 96 for 3, 14th over. BBC Sport Online. Rashid to Carlson, who's a swing at that one, gets the bottom edge down to short fine leg for a single. 97 for 3. Glamorgan don't seem to be playing Rashid with quite the same trepidation that they did last year when they're 80-odd all out 3 times in barely a month down here, in Championship twice and T20, as Ingram slaps that one over cover, and one bounce for as Colin Ingram latched onto a slightly wider delivery from Rashid Khan and really tucked into it away to the pavilion side, away to our left. That is the 100 up in the 14th over.
A little bit wide from Khan there. Didn't need more of an invite than that to try and hit it over covered. Lovely shot from Ingram.
He's on to 19. Rashid bowls again. Ingram goes through a big pull but gets it off the pad. Ball trickles down to backward square. A single taken. 102 for 3, so Morgan showing signs of accelerating, but they've got plenty to do in the last 6 overs and 2 balls. Can they get up to 150 or past it, which you would have thought would be a baseline really for their ambitions, as Rashid for once isn't in quickly as he fiddles with his lace and then is in to bowl to Carlson, who works on the leg side. They might be able to take 2 here because he's hit it quite softly. No, it's... Oh, Rawlins was in quickly, but he missed it. But luckily for him, he had a mate backing him up. 103 for 3. Rawlins just ran over the top of that one. Can't accuse him of fake fielding because he actually got to the ball. 103 for 3. Ingram on to strike, and he's caught at the wickets, trying to catch, tossed up by Alex Carey, and Rashid Khan has the vital wicket of the Glamorgan captain, Colin Ingram, who for the 5th time in 7 games is out between 10 and 20. He's made 19 tonight, and Glamorgan 103 for 4 with 6 overs left here on BBC Sport Online.
It was interesting. I was just going to say, is it playing on his mind? Because he's been in the teams many times of his 2020. He hasn't kicked on. I wonder if he's just in the back of mind, right, let's get to 20, or let's get to 30, let's get out of this zone that I've been trapped in recently. And again, he's fallen in the teens. Shame for the Glamorgan supporters, very good for the Sussex supporters.
Yeah, you're right there, Mike. They'll be glad to see the back of Colin Ingram. Well, Sussex, good wicket. Just taking wickets at the right time tonight, you feel. Just when you think that Glamorgan have got some momentum going, the wicket of Lloyd just after he got to 50, and now Colin Ingram, who we've seen here, I think he won the game for Glamorgan at Arundel 2 or 3 years ago. The 100 played really well. Glamorgan's only T20 win in Sussex, actually. They've never won here at Hove. So that's a record that they'd love to put right this evening. Anyway, it's going to be Reece Topley.
Cook's come to the innings, come to the wicket now. This little suit Cook, fine strike of the ball. But, not saying he's a flat track bully in any stretch of imagination, but with his less in the wicket, he really does hit the ball a long way.
Topley into Carlson, big inside edge, and well fielded, diving to his left by Alex Carey to prevent a single. 103 for 4. He's a big, imposing figure when he runs at you.
Topley.
He's Topley, blimey.
Lovely beard as well, in fairness to him.
It's not very aerodynamic, is it? I think it'll slow him down.
He's passed on by Gould, bowls to Carlson. That's in the air. There's a chase for loop right. It drops over his shoulder. He picks it up on the bounce, and they go through for 2. Hit over mid-off. never really a chance for Wright. That one just teased him a little bit, but 2 runs for Carlson. He's on to 18.